Welcome, dear students. I'm Dr. Rajiv Oberoi. Now, dealing with the second law of electrolysis, the second Faraday law. Now, before I begin with the second law, let us in brief revise the electrolysis. So, we have done in the previous video that this word electrolysis is made up of two words. One is electro and other is lysis. This electro has come from word electricity and lysis means breakdown. Therefore, we say that the chemical breakdown of any compound due to electric current is termed as electrolysis. Suppose I have taken a electrolytic tank in which I have taken aqueous solution of NaCl or molten solution of NaCl. Now I have installed two electrodes. So what happens, since NaCl is aqueous or molten in state, sure it will undergo ionization to produce sodium ion and chloride ion, that is positive charge ion cation and negative charge ion anion. Now when electric current is passed through this solution, either aqueous or molten, these ions start moving toward their electrode, cation start moving toward cathode, anion start moving toward anode. Cation start moving toward cathode, anion start moving toward anode. Charge on cation is positive, therefore charge on cathode is negative. Charge on anion is negative, therefore charge on anode is positive. Now on reaching the respective electrode, what happens at anode? This chloride ion will lose electron, converts into neutral species. Loss of electron is oxidation. Then 2Cl combines, resulting in formation of Cl2, which is liberated. This happens at anode. At cathode, sodium ion gains electron, converts into sodium metal. Since it gains electron, therefore it is reduction. Therefore, at anode, chlorine gas is getting liberated. At cathode, sodium metal is getting deposited. So the movement of ions toward their respective electrode and undergoing the chemical change at electrode is termed as electrolysis. Now this process of electrolysis is governed by a rule called as Faraday law of electrolysis. There are two such laws which are complementary to one another. So in first law it has been said, we have already discussed, in first law it has been said that weight of the substance that get deposited or liberated at the electrode during the process of electrolysis is directly proportional to the charge conducted through the solution. That is, W is directly proportional to Q. The weight of the substance is directly proportional to the charge conducted. Now since Q is equal to I into T, where I is current in ampere, T is time in second, therefore W is directly proportional to I into T. W proportional to Q, Q is equal to I into T, therefore W is proportional to I into T. In order to remove proportionality sign, we apply a constant, therefore we say that W is equal to Z into I into T, where Z is termed as the electrochemical equivalent. We have discussed previously also, it is electrochemical equivalent. So what is W? It is weight of the substance that get deposited or liberated at the electrode. What is value of Z? What is Z? It is electrochemical equivalent. I is current in ampere and T is time in second. So this is first law. But in this part our objective is to discuss the second law of electrolysis, the second law of Faraday, of course, which is complementary to the first law. What first law says, W is directly proportional to Q. Now we are coming on to the second law. This law says that in two or more cells that are connected in series, the weight of the substance that get deposited or liberated at the electrode is directly proportional to the equivalent weight of the substance. In a two or more electrolytic cell which are connected in series, the weight of the substance that get deposited or liberated at the electrode is directly proportional to the equivalent weight of the substance. That is, W is directly proportional to E, but W would be proportional to E provided the charge conducted is same. The W is directly proportional to E. The weight deposited or liberated is directly proportional to equivalent weight only when the charge conducted is same, that is the cell connected in series. So remember, if cell are connected in series, then amount of charge conducted in one will be equal to amount of charge conducted in the other. Therefore the charge conducted would be same, and then only this law W is proportional to E becomes applicable. Now suppose there are three electrolytic cell. One is having copper sulfate solution, other is having zinc sulfate solution, and third one is having silver nitrate solution. These are the three electrolytic cell. Each are having two electrode, one cathode, one anode, and all these are connected in series. Means they are attached to the same source of energy. So these are three cells, three electrolytic cell connected in series, respectively having copper sulfate, zinc sulfate, silver nitrate. Now atomic weight of copper is 63.5, atomic weight of zinc is 65, atomic weight of silver is 108. Now loss of electron by copper is 2 in case of copper sulfate, loss of electron by zinc is 2 in case of zinc sulfate, loss of electron is 1 by silver in case of silver nitrate. So if we convert this atomic weight into equivalent weight, so we have already said that equivalent weight is equal to atomic weight upon the number of electron lost. So for copper it would be 63.5 atomic weight upon number of electron lost, that is 31.75. This is equivalent weight of copper. For zinc the atomic weight is 65, number of electron lost is 2, 65 divided by 2, it is 32.5. This is equivalent weight of zinc. For silver atomic weight is 108, number of electron lost is 1, 108 upon 1 is 108. This is its equivalent weight. So 31.75 is equivalent weight of copper, 32.5 is equivalent weight of zinc, and 108 is equivalent weight of silver. Now suppose if weight of the substance that is getting deposited is taken as W1 for copper, the weight of metal getting deposited, say in case of copper it is W1, say W1 gram of copper is getting deposited during electrolysis, W2 gram of zinc is getting deposited during electrolysis, and W3 gram of silver is getting deposited. So weight of the substance getting deposited in three electrolytic cell respectively is W1, W2, W3. Now suppose if equivalent weight of copper, say it is E1, though we have calculated, but say equivalent weight of copper is E1, equivalent weight of zinc, say it is E2, and equivalent weight of silver is E3. So weight of copper deposited is W1, its equivalent weight is E1, weight of zinc deposited is W2, its equivalent weight is E2, weight of silver deposited W3, its equivalent weight is E3. So as per the second law of electrolysis, we said that W is directly proportional to E. Weight of the substance that get deposited or liberated at the electrode is directly proportional to equivalent weight of the substance, provided the charge conducted is same, that is cells are connected in series. So W is proportional to E. In order to remove proportionality sign, if we apply constant, so W is equal to constant into E. If I bring E in the denominator, it becomes W by E is a constant. So weight deposited, weight of the substance that is deposited at the respective electrode upon its equivalent weight is a constant value. Since W upon E is a constant, therefore W1 upon E1 would be a constant. W upon E is a constant, therefore W1 upon E1 would be a constant. W2 upon E2 would be a constant. W3 upon E3 would be a constant. W upon E is a constant, therefore these are also constants. Since they are constant, therefore they are equal to one another. Since all these values are equal to constant, it means they are equal to one another. Therefore we can write. So therefore we can write that W1 upon E1 is equal to W2 upon E2. Since W1 upon E1 is equal to constant, W2 upon E2 is equal to constant, therefore we can say W1 upon E1 is equal to W2 upon E2 is equal to W3 upon E3 is equal to constant. W1 upon E1 is equal to W2 upon E2 is equal to W3 upon E3 is equal to constant. If I take this much out, I can write W1 upon E1 is equal to W2 upon E2, and if I cross multiply, so it would be W1 upon E1 is equal W1 upon W2, sorry, W1 upon W2 is equal to E1 upon E2. W1 upon W2 is equal to E1 upon E2. What is W1? Weight of metal 1 upon weight of the metal 2. E1 is equivalent weight of metal 1 upon E2 is equivalent weight of metal 2. And remember, this formula is applicable to numerical. As per the second law, this is the formula that is applicable to numerical. So on the basis of first law, the formula utilized for numerical is W is equal to Z into I into T, where Z is equal to electrochemical equivalent. As per second law of electrolysis, the formula applicable is W1 upon W2 is equal to E1 upon E2. So these are the two formula which is utilized for the numericals. So in the previous two video, we have dealt with the fundamental behind electrolysis, that what is electrolysis, what is a electrolytic cell. Then in the next previous video, I also discussed the first law of Faraday, and in this video I have dealt with the second law of electrolysis. The first law as well as second law of electrolysis, they are complementary to one another. W is directly proportional to Q is first law, W is directly proportional to E is the second law, and these two laws are complementary to one another. They are very useful for the numerical problem. So in the next video, we'll deal with the numerical problem based on Faraday law. Thank you.